Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. And welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today on this great Monday morning? A great day to get those things started, to begin to do those things that, has been on your heart to do. Not only, be intentional about doing it, but actually doing it, y'all. Actually doing it. I hope you had some time over the weekend to just sit back and, you know, think about those things that you can do, those things that, will bring productivity to whatever you're doing, whether you're on your writing journey, you're writing your book, or you're getting, things together in order to write your book, or you have that small business out there. How can you take your business or your writing to the next level? Have you ever thought about that? Expanding your reach, taking it to the next level. A lot of times people just sit back and they're not really seeing themselves in that light. They're seeing themselves as being insignificant or, and it doesn't motivate them because they're not really keying in to what they have on the inside of them. What's on the inside of them that could really bring uh, change to their community, to their sphere of people that they're around. That sphere of influence is what I'm trying to say, or their audience. What is that you have on the inside of you that could bring about that positive change? On Friday, I was talking about, some key factors that you should, think about. How can you be a positive influence and use the tools that you already have on the inside of you to bring about that change? You remember I told you about, everyone likes to be a part of something that's bigger than them. And what can you do? What do you have on the inside of you that could ignite somebody, that can motivate somebody, that could cause their lives to change and change for the better? Are you that positive influence? Are you that one that has a message that could, drastically change someone's life? Like I say, you might not be the voice for everybody, but you are the voice for somebody. And your message, your products, your services, they are very, very impactful. They are very impactful. So, with that being said, let me tell you, I had a great weekend. I had a great weekend just to reflect and just to think about some things that are happening here, on with this show and in this business that I'm in, Turning Point Enrichment Incorporation, and it comes from all the positive feedback that I'm getting from people saying, well, thank you, Gertrude. Thank you, Tiffany, for sharing this information with me. That it has really, given me something to think about, giving me something that, you know, I can reflect on, pointing some things out to me that I never thought about before. So, with that being said, we are very, very appreciative to have you tuning in each and every day, to, get those tidbits, get those things that will bring change to your life, that will impact you so you can maximize your potential. And with that being said, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, your number one inspirational book coach. And that's what I teach. I teach you to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. And especially you women, you know, you leave money on the table all the time because, you're not conscious of what you have on the inside of you. And I was talking to somebody, and I don't remember who it was, but over the weekend, and we were talking about some things. And I said, that's exactly what I talk about each and every day. And I try to empower other women to see their value and to see their worth. Because, as a matter of fact, we as women, we always involved in many, many things, okay? Many things. And we don't sit back to really assess our value and our worth. We're always, somebody's always calling us for information. They're always calling us for advice. They're always, pulling on us and drawing things out of us. But have you ever thought that you could turn your knowledge into dollars? Have you ever thought about that? Well, that's something to think about if you never thought about that before. You could turn what you have on the inside into dollars, whether you're going to write your book or, if you're thinking about, starting a business. I want you to think about that. I want you to really go in and assess what you have on the inside of you. Who are you? Have you really took time, have taken the time to really evaluate all of the gems you have inside of you, all of those treasures, all of those things that could bring you a monetary return? Have you ever thought about that? Well, that's things that we talk about here on this show, Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How to look inside of you for the answers to the problems that you're now facing. Or maybe you're not facing them now, but just think about some of the times that your back has been up against a wall and you try to pull something from the outside in, and maybe has caused you, undue stress, or, it's taken away from your family time or whatever it may be. When all you needed to do was look on the inside of you. And I'm going to help you take that even to the next level. And I know I'm going to give you some things, and I know I just said a mouthful of some things that I talked about. If you were here on Friday's broadcast, and as I'm opening up today, and as I'm going to share with you later on, But here's a step that could help you, could help you take that business to the next level or take your book writing to the next level. And it's called the power of teamwork. The power of teamwork. Teamwork, y'all, is so very important. And especially now because, it eliminates that stress. It eliminates a lot of things that you may be going through or have gone through. And you never stopped and thought about that, It's good to have teamwork. And you might say, well, I don't know anybody. Well, you know what? It's a good thing to get to know other people. Don't be so closed up and, failing to reach out. Because everybody, just because maybe you've been burned in the past or maybe things that have happened, there are still people out there who are willing to collaborate with you, to network with you, and where you could build up each other. We're going to talk about some of those things, the power of teamwork and collaboration and network, because it's very, very important and it can be enjoyable. You have to, broaden your mind and think of all the good things that could happen. Like I said, if you saying, well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know anybody. I don't want to do that. I want you to think again. I want you to reconsider it again. Okay? Reconsider, because you could form those healthy relationships. you can form those healthy relationships. It's something that even increases your motivation, where you might be into something right now and you just don't feel like it sometimes, or you're not motivated. You go through those highs and those lows, and this collaboration, this teamwork can also serve as accountability, to hold you accountable. Because I understand, I get it. That, every time, every day is not an update. And we all have to motivate ourselves in certain ways. Okay? Motivate ourselves in certain ways. I tell you, when I get up in the morning, before I get in the presence of others, I get in the presence of God. I empty myself out, okay? And I fill myself up for this day, what I'm going to, do this day. And I talk to myself in the mirror. I look at myself in the mirror. I look deep in my eyes. And I have to tell myself, because sometimes, your body just doesn't want to get up. Okay. Your body just doesn't want to cooperate. Your mind doesn't want to cooperate. And you have to talk to yourself. You have to look yourself in the eye and get yourself together. Okay. So when we talk about teamwork, when we talk about networking, when we're talking about collaboration, this is a great accountability. You could be accountability partners, okay? Because there's so much benefits, so many benefits in the power of teamwork. Even though you're interdependent individuals, it's going to work together for your good. So let's go to the first one. Okay. The first talking point, what we're talking about is it leads to great ideas. The power of teamwork. I love this. I love working with other people because we learn from each other. I love working with other people because, and that's something that you have to do. It keeps your mind open. Always, approach things with an open mind. Try not to, have a closed mind where you see things, this way, and you won't bend, you won't change. Always be willing to learn something new every day. Learn something new every day. You see, that's why I always, encourage you to read, because it opens up your mind to not be so, just one point of view, or you just see it this way and this is the way it's going to be. And you always hear people say this, and you have heard people say that, oh, it's this way and this is the only way. But no, we can't be like that. We have to, be open to, be receptive, and be receptive to other methods and other ways. There's many different ways. There's different things that we could learn. Always be willing to learn something new, y'all, each and every day. And it expands your mindset. It expands your perception. And also, when we're talking about teamwork, this is another thing that it does. As you're working with a team, it promotes, creativity. And when you visualize the next steps, and I call this plan in action. You remember we talked about setting your goals and your plans to get there? Well, when you're collaborating and you're working in that team, okay, now your plans are coming in action. It's coming up from the paper. It's coming out of the mind. Now you're more apt to go and, do that thing. Okay. Because there's other people that's involved. So now instead of, you're sitting back, procrastinating, saying, well, one day I'll get to it, I'm going to put this off. Now you're more apt to go on into that and create whatever that needs to be. Okay. Whatever needs to be done. And it keeps what's important on the forefront and eliminates those frivolous things. when you're working in a team. Because have you ever heard this, two heads are better than one? Now you're coming together. Your ideas, that other person's ideas, and it could be more than one or two people, okay? It could be a group of people. But now you're all coming in unity and you're taking the best of each person's idea and you're creating that thing that's going to be very impactful. Very, very impactful. That's why I love, collaborations. That's why I love partnerships. That's why I love teamwork. Because I love, working with people. Because this is something that will drive change in different segments. Different segments. Because we all have an audience. Now, as a team, we could reach the different audience of each one of us, the audiences of each one of us in different ways. Where now we have resources that could further expand to reach our audience in this unique way. It's very important. The power of teamwork, y'all, is very, very important. Very important. Here's another thing that it does. When I talk about, maximizing your potential, expanding your reach, you have to maximize your potential. Maximize it while pulling together, some here, some there, and some over here. You have to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. Here's another thing it does. It solves problems because it enables you to expand beyond your reach. Each and every one of us are unique in our own ways. We're very unique. And good morning, Sean. How you doing today? And what happens is now you're able to solve your problem. That person is able to solve this problem over here. And, now it's expanding the reach. It's allowing you, like I said, this is feeding off the first one, to have a pool of resources that the audience could pull from. That audience, the audiences of each one could pull from. So all of those needs will be met. It also is less stress because now you don't have to fret. You don't have to, be overly concerned, if I may say, with certain things that you can't do, or trying to find somebody who can, take on that responsibility when you have it right there in your team. I love teamwork because the things that I can't do, well, there's a person over there that can do it. So I don't have to stress or try to figure out how I'm going to do this and waste time, wasting time. That's another thing. I have to, if you're not an expert in that field, it will cost you time and it will cost you money to try to be that expert, where you already have that person on your team that could do that in maybe 2 minutes. And that's their expertise. That's why I tell you, even as an author, hire an expert, whether it's a book coach, a cover designer, an editor, And stop relying on just anybody to look at your work, okay? Because it makes a big difference. You have to learn how to invest in yourself in the level that you expect results. And when I say invest in yourself, purchase those services from people who are experts in their fields. That's why it's good to have those people on your team, because now it expands your reach. If somebody brought me a book and said, well, I need a cover design, I'm not going to do that cover, okay? I'm going to hand it off to somebody who's on my team. And if they need help have a person that comes to them and say, well, I have a person that needs to know how to write a book, they're going to refer that person to me. They're going to hand it off to me. See, that's the power of teamwork. And these are people that's right there, okay? It works hand in hand. Hand in hand. It uncovers related things, like I said, to form an umbrella of resources. So collaborate, y'all. Network is very, very important. Here's another talking point. Let me go to the other one, where it says it helps each other meet their individual goals. When you're a part of a team, when you're networking with people and you're actively networking, okay? You're actively networking. You're helping each other. It builds morale. It keeps you motivated. It keeps you on point. It helps you achieve your goals, just like it helps the other person. Everybody on the team will achieve their goals, but you have to stick with it. You have to stick with it. It saves you time. Like I said, and it's cost effective. But each person achieves their goals. And, this is something that I always promote: teamwork. Whether you're writing your book, whether you're starting that small business or you're in that small business, getting to know other people, getting those fresh ideas, being around different atmospheres, it makes a difference, y'all. It allows you to grow. It stretches you. It expands you. It allows you to have different viewpoints. It does a lot. It does a lot for you. So don't allow yourself to be so complacent, or allow yourself to be so closed off where you neglect that power of teamwork. I have used this so many times. I can even think about, the times when we had a reach. My husband and I, we had an outreach that we were doing for this nonprofit. And in order to reach 4,000 people per week, okay, that was our assignment. In probably, let me see, maybe 12 different segments, we assign leaders to these different segments. I would say 12 because I don't remember, okay? I'm just going to say 12 because I know at least it was 12. Okay, because we couldn't be in every place at the same time or even in that week. So it was teamwork. It was teamwork. And that's how we were able to reach 4,000 plus people per week. And I'm going to tell you, it was a heavy load. Because sometimes, y'all, the load is heavy and you're trying to do it all by yourself. But you're not really seeing the big picture. You're not really seeing the big picture. There's something that's more out there that you cannot see if you're closed off, if you're neglecting the power of teamwork, because it will take you to the next level. Here's another thing teamwork does. Teamwork improves your communication. It improves your communication. Because just like I said, you have to be an expert already. Okay? You can't decide, well, you're going to be an expert when you're in that place or you're writing that book. Oh, I'm just going to be an expert in it. So let me just look up certain things to see how I could be an expert in this. That doesn't work. You already have to be an expert. So that's the power of teamwork. Stick with your expertise. Stick with your expertise. And the team is the thing that's going to bring everything into fruition. It's going to take care of those areas where you're not an expert in. Okay? It's going to take care of those areas. But it improves communication. You hear other people's point of view. And now what does that do? That expands your mind. That helps you to visualize things in a different way. It helps you to see things beyond what you're currently seeing. You remember I always tell you this, you have to see things before you see it or you'll never see it. You have to see things in levels. You have to see things in stages. You just can't, see things like right here. There's more to it than what you could see naturally. There's more to it. There's different levels. There's different stages. That's how you build. You remember, I always talk, and I keep going back and say, you remember, because I say this all the time, about building a foundation, about the levels, about the stages. Just like I tell you about goals. When you have your goals and you have your plans in order to reach those goals, there's different levels, there's different stages. So teamwork, it improves your communication because now you hearing other points of views. Now you're able to go to those next levels or, those next depths, those deeper depths. It does a whole lot. It does a whole lot. Here's another one I want you to think about. Your ability to clearly focus in on your audience's pain points. Because now you're able to understand. You're able to go into a deeper depth with understanding your audience's pain points. Because now you're hearing it from this team member. You're hearing it from that team member, in their different, segments. And now you're able to get another picture and see another side and have another focus, another, segment of what's going on. So now you're able to dig deeper into, what that pain point is. Now you're able to communicate better and articulate better in things that, you need to go into, how would I say this? A way of saying things. Okay? Into a deeper way of saying things. You're able to express yourself with clarity and confidence. And that's what, you know, that's what's be missing a lot of times. People do not have the confidence because they may be unsure of themselves, or they don't know exactly, what, how to communicate that thing, because maybe they're, shying away from it because they're not, they're uneasy about it. Or am I saying the right thing? Or, do they understand this? You have to, you have to allow your mind to expand so you could improve your communication. And like I said, teamwork is a way of, building and expanding your mind and allowing your mind to go through those different phases, those different steps, those deeper depths. It's a great way. So don't ever neglect the power of teamwork. Always be out there looking to collaborate, looking to network with people. This is something that I do on a daily basis. My calendar is full, of, and I know it's very full this week, of people that I'm, having meetings with, but purposeful meetings that's going to be productive, not just talking about, oh, what you're doing over there and blah blah blah, and having empty conversations. I'm looking for people that, we could collaborate with each other and be able to build that team that's going to help my audience, their audience, and whoever else, is involved. It's very important because there is power in teamwork. Here's another one that I want to bring to you. It improves productivity. It improves productivity. Even though each of us have a vision, each of us have a vision, but the entire vision, we have a segment. Each of us have a segment of this puzzle, which is way bigger than all of us. A lot of times what happens is a person hoards that vision, okay? And what I mean by, like I said, you don't know what you don't know, okay? You don't know what you don't know. And there may be some of you out there saying, oh, this is my vision, and I like to work alone and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. Okay? There's power in teamwork. You're looking at your business, you're looking at your books haven't sold, and you're wondering why they haven't sold. And a pet peeve of mine, having books sitting around in boxes in the corner, collecting dust, deteriorating, or you're carrying them around in the trunk of your car, and or worse yet, y'all, your books are on Amazon platform. They're on Google Play, and they're not getting any play. Okay, nobody's buying your books. But you refuse to collaborate with people. You refuse to network with people. Okay? It's all about you. Thinking about how many books you could sell and how much you could make this month. Instead of coming together as a team with somebody and promoting each other and, looking at your audience and seeing what value that you and your team could bring to all of your audience in order for y'all to have an easy win. Teamwork, it improves productivity. You have to stop seeing yourself as that lone ranger. Okay? It's not working in 2022. It didn't work before, but especially in 2022. there's different things, that has happened. And you have to keep up with what's happening. What's happening now? Are you being in the present? Are you in the present? Are you being attentive? Are you really actively listening? Are you seeing the flow of things? It can never be about, you. It's got to be about the power of teamwork. The power of teamwork has always worked. But this is something that's working extra powerfully now. So collaborate, network with people. It's very, very important. You have to see yourself as a segment of the whole. Be, an expert in your field. Not saying that, you go over here and you talk about social media. You go over here, you're talking about something else. Be an expert in your field. And collaborate with those that will enhance what you're doing. And also, it will tie in to what each other are doing in order to move the needle, to move your goals, to move your plans toward your ultimate goal. And that's for every member of the team. Okay? Finding those collaborative partners that will move together and enhance each audience and will help them reach their goals. Serve your audience and serve your audience well. It's not about you. It's about your audience. And if you pay attention to your audience's pain points, and answer the question that your audience is asking, you never have to worry about, not having money or not being able to do this or do that. I hear from people all the time, well, Gertrude, I can't do this because I don't have the money to do that. I can't do this. Collaboration is free. Okay? Collaboration is free. Don't ever say, this is something that you should change from your vocabulary. Okay? Don't ever say, I can't afford. Instead, look for ways that you can make it happen. Look for ways to make it happen and stop saying, I can't afford. Because I'm going to tell you, death in life is in the power of the tongue. And if you keep saying that, guess what'll happen? You won't be able to meet those needs. But look for ways, because when you begin looking for ways that you can do it, a whole different opportunity. I won't say a whole different, but many opportunities will come to you, and you'll find ways in order to make it happen. But one that I'm giving you now is teamwork. Teamwork. Collaborate. Network. Have those productive meetings. That's going to make a difference in your business or on your writing journey. This is not the time to, have that empty conversation. But, tell the person what you're looking for. See what they're looking for. And come to that agreement and stick with it. A lot of times people jump off the bandwagon just before the tide turns because they want immediate results. Sometimes things take a little bit, but stick with it. Be a person of integrity. Don't be known as the person that keeps jumping from one ship to the other, because that's called instability. Be stable with your team. Be stable. Stick with it, because your vision is bigger than what you see. Your vision is bigger than what you see. I always tell you this. It's the world stage. Your vision is just a part of the puzzle. But allow your team, each person in the team, how it comes together and it fits jointly together in order to reach those audiences, in order to serve the audience. Always think about serving. Always think about, whose problem can you serve? Because you are a problem solver. Think of yourself as a problem solver. The power of teamwork, y'all. It's the greatest thing that you could ever do. It leads to great ideas because it gets you out of your way of seeing things. And it allows you to learn new things each and every day. I always learn something new every day. And I love learning from people. There's a lot of things that I have learned from many, many wonderful people. I always learn something from somebody that, I collaborate with. It's also, the power of teamwork is also solving problems. Just think of all of the people that you could solve those problems, you and your team, each one in their own respective way. Just think about that. A team of resources, where if somebody don't know where to turn because, you're a team and you're always showing up, and you're showing up with confidence, you're showing up with boldness, think of the resources that people could begin pointing, their friends to, their relatives, their co-workers. Just think about that. How that even expands your reach. You can't be selfish in this thing. You have to be willing to share. You have to be willing to share, because when you're willing to share, the whole team will win. Okay, it's not about the individual, it's about the team and how you help each other meet those individual goals. You'll reach your goals much quicker if you practice the power of teamwork, and it improves communication. Because now you're showing up with confidence. You don't have to say, well, I don't know, or try to guess at it, or, anything of that nature. You'll show up with confidence because, your team members got it. What you can't solve, you could hand it off to your team members and they'll do the same for you. These are people that have integrity. These are people who are trustworthy. These are people that have the same heart as you. Because how can two walk together unless they agree? There has to be an agreement there, and it improves productivity. You won't procrastinate. You'll overcome that procrastination, because now these people are your accountability partners. They're your accountability partners. They'll be there for you just like you be there for them. So I hope that what I have shared today has, left you with some confidence in building your team and the power of teamwork. So, begin to look for those people that you could collaborate with, those people that you can network with. Like I say, those people who are trustworthy, those people that have integrity. They're just not jumping from one to the other and looking for quick results. Because it takes time to build a good team. It takes time to build a winning team. So make sure you're showing up, and you're showing up with integrity. So with that being said, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to join me on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Remember this is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.